Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you a really cool camera, Panasonic GH3. I'm going to sell this on eBay. This thing is pristine, and once I show it to you, you'll really you'll see that for yourself. And it comes with a lens that I got separately, 14 to 42 millimeter Panasonic, and it comes with some other things, including a case. But I'm going to show this to you. The one thing I want to tell you is that this has been used very, very little. I've had it for a little bit of time, but I've only used it for tests, in-studio tests, battery tests, card tests, lens tests, things like that in a studio environment. No smoke, it's never been near any smoke or anything like that. It hasn't been exposed to any of the elements. So it's pristine, it's like new. There's very little time on it other than what I just mentioned, and I'll have a still of the shutter counts. I have about 3 or 4 of these, and I have several GH4s. I just don't need it, and I thought that it'd be time to let somebody that could use it have it. So let's get started. Let me just show you what I'm going to include here. First thing we'll talk about is the case. Now, I didn't have a case, so I bought a case. This is brand new, never been used, never been out of this studio after I received it from the UPS guy. And what you'll find is it's a nice case. It's got a nice plastic reinforced bottom. It's fairly tall, so it's deep. You can fit a camera in here with a nice size lens. It of course comes with the strap. Nice strap. Inside, you'll see that there's these separators. You can adjust it for whatever camera you're using. And again, it's pretty deep, so you'll be able to use this camera with a pretty long lens, a lot longer than this one. This is pretty short compact lens. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But you know, this will take a fairly good sized lens. Brand new, nice interior. It's not a car, but it's a nice case. It's got these exterior units here, these flaps. There's one on each side. In the front, you've got another pouch, and this pouch also has a couple of pockets, and they're lined with a very soft material, so you can put your memory cards in there or anything else that's that small. And in this area, you can store other things. So anyway, very nice case, brand new, never used. Alright, let's focus in on the lens and the camera. Now, the camera did not come with a lens, so it's a body only. I'm throwing in the lens, which is a very nice lens. And so before I open the box, let me just tell you a little bit about the lens. It does come with a lens hood. I have a bunch of lenses of all varieties. I bought this lens hood used, and there are some marks on this. On closer inspection, I found these 2 additional blemishes on this lens, and I just wanted to point it out. Now, one thing to mention is that this lens has a plastic lens mount, not a steel one, not a brass one. Now, the cool thing about this lens is even though it's a budget lens and it's very lightweight, the optics are very, very good. I will post some of the pictures I took with this, and you'll see that the resolution of this lens is outstanding. So I took pictures with this camera, with this lens on it, and I'll show you those pictures, and you'll see some close-ups. You'll be able to see some really nice detail in these pictures. Alright, so, but it is lightweight. And there's something I don't like about this lens, and I guess that's not a good selling point, but it's the truth. It's not super smooth, okay? Some of the expensive lenses, wow, when you rotate one of the rings, either the focus or the zoom, boy, it's just like butter, right? This isn't butter. Okay, the fact that it is plastic, these rings, you can compress them. So if you squeeze hard, it's harder to rotate the ring because it's flexible. So it's causing more friction. The same thing with the focus ring. Now, if you learn like I did, to just gently, without squeezing, just let your natural grip do all the work instead of squeezing down on the rings, it will operate a lot smoother. But it's not the smoothest operation in the world, period. And I've had several lenses just like this, and every one of them did the exact same thing. Right out of the box, that's how it is. So it's not a flaw, it's just part of the design feature which keeps it inexpensive. So where they didn't put a lot of money in the design build, they put a lot of money in the optics because the optics are quite good. So that's enough of that for the moment. Comes with the lens. Now let's look in the box. This is kind of like an unboxing because I want you to see what you're going to get with this. So far, you get the case with the strap, you get the lens with the caps, the UV filter, and the lens hood. I'm including everything I got with this camera, which includes the two discs. One of them has software on it that I never used, so I don't know anything about it. Feel free to explore. And the other one supposedly has the electronic version of the manual as well as some drivers. I didn't use it, but it's there. That's what came with it. And then I believe the warranty cards are still in here. Not sure. But you have the two versions of the manual, the English version and then the multi-language version of the manual are included. Okay, now I'm going to pull the camera out of here. It's still in its nice little white baggie. Again, this is in pristine condition. There's not a mark on it that I can tell. And I'm going to take some very close-up photos of this body and the sensor and the LCD screen. There's one exception. On the bottom plate, where you bolt it to the tripod, the label has a little mark on it. It must have happened when I tightened the body to the tripod and maybe twisted the body of the camera a little bit. I don't know, but it's only on the label. It doesn't go into the camera body itself, and it's very minor. If I weren't taking the photos of it, I would have never noticed it. Not only is it as good as new, it's actually better than new. I've gotten a lot of equipment, and maybe you have also, that once you get it from the factory or the store, wherever you bought it from, you get it home and there's something wrong with it. A dead pixel or a scratch or something that you don't like. So you either live with it or you have to send it back. And when you buy it, it gets to you a lot faster than when you send it out for repairs and it comes back. So it's just a big hassle. This has been fully tested. Again, that's all I did with it, is use it for tests. And I am kind of anal with my gear. And if you look at my eBay score, it's 100%. If you listen to anybody who ever bought anything from me, they'll tell you I describe things accurately and I sell good equipment. If there's anything wrong with the gear I sell, I let you know right up front. This is as good as new or better, because it doesn't have any of those flaws you might find when you get a new product. It's already been vetted and tested, so it's excellent. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about this while I'm holding it up as far as the condition, because you're going to see still photos of it that will tell the story. What I am going to say is that this is really a great camera. Now, I have a bunch of cameras that I use in my professional production business. Big cameras, very expensive cameras, and I have several GH4s, and I had a bunch of these GH3s. And to be honest with you, unless I'm shooting 4K, I always use the GH3s. They put out a really good image. In fact, if you took the same image, same scene with a GH3 and a GH4 shooting HD, I would dare you to tell the difference between the two. So if you're pro and you need a B camera or a C camera, this is an excellent camera. If you're just starting out, this is a great camera to start out because it's affordable. You've got the equivalent of 14 millimeters on this particular crop sensor. This Micro Four Thirds is about 28 millimeter, which is your wide angle, and then it zips out to 42, which is about 84. So this would be good for portraits. It would be good for a carry-around lens, a street photography lens. I mean, this is a pretty cool setup. If you're a pro, you probably have a bunch of other lenses to go with it as well. But anyway, great camera, and you'll see the photographs. Okay, let's delve deeper into this box. So the first thing you'll see is the power cord for the battery charger. Put a little strap on here, Velcro, just so that when I'm not using it, it's folded up, it stays folded up, and it's not unwieldy. But that's what will power the charger. The charger itself, and again, now this is Panasonic, came with it. It's not a third-party market, or OEM. Lumix, and of course this plugs into it. Excellent charger. This one's never been used, brand new. Okay, what else we have here? It is kind of like an unboxing, because I never used this, but this is your USB cable, which plugs into the side of the camera. Then what we have is we have two batteries. Now folks, these are aftermarket batteries. And another caveat, very small one, brand new. Because I have so many GH3s and GH4s, well, I've got a lot of batteries going all over the place. I wasn't using this camera at all, so I used the battery that came with it. And I don't know where it is, and by now it's used. So I just decided to buy two new batteries, so you have two of them instead of one. Now, they're marked as 2100 milliamp hours. Here's where the caveat comes in. Don't believe that. It's more like 1600 or 1700 milliamp hours. I've tested them. I test everything that comes in. So I charged them up and I ran them. You get a couple hours out of them each, but not as much time as you'd get on a stock Panasonic battery. So just so you know, but you're getting two of them and they are brand new. So even though the charge won't last as long as a Panasonic battery, they're brand new, so they'll last a long time before you have to get new batteries. And I have used this brand before, and I'm perfectly happy using them. A lot of my shoots, these will handle those shoots just fine, not a problem. I'm also going to include a memory card. It's 32 gigabytes, so it's got plenty of room to hold your video and your photographs. And it's fast, so it will handle your HD videos with no problem. It's 45 megabits per second. And then last but not least, or maybe it is least, is your basic strap for the camera. Okay guys, so you see everything you get here. It's all pristine, just like brand new. The other thing about this lens, optical stabilization. It's actually got optical stabilization. For an inexpensive lens, this lens does a lot. Now I've shot handheld at under a 30th of a second with ease. Now maybe it's technique. I've also shot at a 15th of a second. And with this lens, I'm just able to do handheld shots really, really slow. Your mileage may vary depending on your skill set, but it's a really nice lens. So I forgot to mention that it's image stabilized. Very, very nice lens. So guys, look it. I have a high rating, 100% rating on eBay. I'm telling you, this is a pristine camera. It's a great camera. I hope that whoever buys it is going to enjoy it for a long time. I'm not using it, and it's a shame to keep it on a shelf. It really is. So, happy bidding, and thank you for watching.